only child. It was a master class in itself. And so I felt that, in this parenting conversations we keep holding, because of how long it takes for some of the results to come out, it's easy for people to think that, another story.
Yeah.
Oh, another group has come.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy for people to dismiss it.
Yeah.
So for me, it was that Ronke has seen, how do they say, she came, she saw, she conquered, so she has an experience we can learn from. And so by the time we started talking about Dade's issues with other girls, I knew that we needed to have a conversation. So you're welcome, Ronke, to the conversation tonight.
Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, we're ready for all the buzzwords. That's what you carry it in a knapsack. But we're here to learn.
Don't believe her. Don't believe me. Don't believe her.
Yeah, don't believe me. Just wait for another 40 minutes and you will see what is brought on. So, Ma, do you want to introduce yourself? How you'd like to be related to tonight?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ronke Adeniyi, fondly called Ronke Posh. I'm a mom to the most amazing 16-year-old in the whole wide world. A very lucky man is married to me and has been married to me for 20 years now. I run the most amazing school in the Parkview estate. It's called La Posh School. We've got a creche, a playgroup, a nursery, and a primary school. We're doing amazing things, extraordinary things in our school. And I'm a parenting practitioner, and that's why I have connected with Miss Irene Bangwell today. So I coach parents and I work with children as well in various capacities. I'm very passionate about family life and about getting it right with children, because I know that they can make the difference that we're looking for, especially in our own country, Nigeria.
Beautiful. So you're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us, you have this personality that says, this is me, deal with it. Was it always like that? Hold on. Was it always like that?
Okay.
If it wasn't always like that, what are the things that helped you along the way become that person? That is not, you're not trying to be somebody else. Nobody can define who you should be. But also, if this is what you've always been, how have you been able to sustain all the people who may think that you were a little too much?
Well,
how were you been able to manage those kinds of energy? Growing up in Africa, for instance, we know there will be that from teachers, adult, cousins, relatives, neighbors, colleagues at work, different. So
I have possibly not always been like that as a child. As a child, I was a very, very, I was the ideal child that every parent wanted, excellent grades, and I was a reader, a very, very intensive reader. I used to read a lot. I can remember on my 40th birthday, my mom she's still like flabberwhelmed when she thinks about me. She was still saying on my 40th birthday that she's a bit surprised that I'm the one that is talking. I used to be so quiet and all. But I believe that as I journeyed through university, secondary school, I also believe that at some point I probably had two personalities. Whatever the case, I've always been a happy child. I've always been happy. So I was very friendly, very outgoing, very energetic in secondary school. I can't really remember myself in primary school, to be honest, I can't. But in secondary school, I was a bubbly person, very energetic, just like I am now. But I believe that more so as I started this journey of discovery, tried to understand who I am, and I realized that I wasn't actually far from the truth. This is who I am. I'm someone that's very happy, someone that's very vibrant, very colorful. I've got a lot of energy, and I like to be myself. I don't want to be anybody else. I believe that being anyone else, as we all know, is a counterfeit. I have one life to live, and I have to maximize it. People that know me very well, they would say they're very few. They know that I'm very tender-hearted, very loving, very kind. But yeah, I know. I know some people find it hard to believe, but I am actually, if I can say so myself. And obviously, I work with families. I work with families for many, many years, and they say the same thing. I mean, if you go to Le Posh School website, you hear testimonials from various parents saying the same thing. I think this is just energy. This is just me. This is just who I am. I don't hurt people, but I tell the truth. And I believe that we don't have too much time left in terms of parenting, in terms of the things that we do. I don't believe we have too much time. So I kind of like always cut the chase and just go straight to the point. I just shoot my arrows and say, guys, you guys are, because we've tried many approaches, we cuddle, oh, do this. How long are we going to beg parents to do the right thing? How long are we going to beg parents to, be there for their children? We can't be begging people when God has given you the greatest gift ever in the whole wide world. You have to do it and do it right. So if we are doing it in the cuddly way, it's not working. Let's check you. So I know there are people that are doing this parenting thing and they are doing it in a cuddly way. It may be working for some, but there will be I have my tribe that it's working for. So sometimes we do the basketballs and sometimes we do the cuddles, which are balances in one way. My community, they know that I love them and we love each other. Yeah. So that's it, really.
And definitely, even when it's basketballs, is from a good place.
Yes, it's from a good place. So it's not judgmental or anything.
It's their child first.
Yeah.
So the first person that benefits from the decision is going to be parents.
Yeah.
So let's go quickly to daddy now. So I'm sitting down here, I'm raising 2 daughters. My first child will be going into secondary in September.
Okay.
I feel like it's a whole new world and I want to learn. So I want you to highlight to us, you have the floor now. Literally talk to us. What have you seen in girls? Like I was trying to say, what is one thing Ronke is going to talk about? It's going to be envy among girls. It's going to be competition among girls, very unnecessary. But I might be wrong. And so you have the floor now. See my biro, see my notepad.
Okay.
Hear you.
All right, so thank you very much, and thanks to all that have joined and will watch the replay. I find it an honor, and I'm very grateful for being here. So raising a girl child. Now, even before I raised my own girl child, I'm someone that right now, if I'm going to count the number of women in my life or the people that have supported me in my own personal life to get to where I am now, most of the people that have done that are men in my own life. It doesn't apply to everybody, but I'm just using my own story. So my dad is very instrumental to who I am today. My husband is very instrumental. And then when I was working in banking in the UK, I found that men were the ones. It was only one woman, Maria Rodas, that I always say, she's a Spanish lady, that was very open and willing and helped me because I had a little baby at that time. But every other person, most of the people have been, they've been men. So I've always known that at back on my own. So I wanted my daughter to have both sides. So I went to a girls only school and I saw, please pardon me, we're adults here, and I've seen ladies who are literally bitches, and when people bitch around, it's not because that they grew up one day and took a pill or they just stumbled on bitchiness. They actually start being bitches when they are young children. You see, children can be bitches from as little as 2 years old and 3 years old. They are nasty. They can start doing that nasty thing. And mom or dad think it's cute. Oh, she's confident. Oh, she's this, oh, she's that. And that is how they nurture this kind of behavior. Now, when Daddy started secondary school, she went to an amazing school. So when I give these examples, it's nothing on the school. I keep saying it. I've said it on so many platforms that it's not really anything too much about the school. The school did a good job in the best way they could. But the challenges she had with some pupils or students, I should say, it's because of failed parenting, absent parenting. So a child does not become what they are or do not behave in a manner in which they have not seen somebody behave in that manner. It's either their parents are doing it or they are doing it, absorbing it from the environment, and nobody is cautioning that behavior. So that's normally what happens. Now, I have Daddy. Oftentimes, even people, when she was secondary school, 1 or 2 teachers have come to me and said, oh, my daughter is a genius, she's amazing, she's this, she's that, and she is amazing. At Dade Posh, you can find her DADEPOSH, and she is amazing, and you can almost think she's a genius because of the number of things that she's doing. But I am Nami Bonham. Nami Bonham, I know, it's not genius anything, it is nurturing. So my point here is that it's not as if God gave me one superstar child. I mean, she's a superstar, but I want to come down to let you understand that any child can be a superstar if you nurture the child.
Please, somebody should type that in the comments.
Yeah.
Any child can be a superstar.
Yeah, any child can be a superstar. And what happened with Daddy that has made her a superstar today is because she had a mother and father that had time for her. She even had grandparents that have her time. They have her time. So the nurturing is there. So if I plant two seeds in different soil, you would find that if one gets in the water, the manure, and the sunshine, it will definitely blossom. And if the other one has thorn in it and it has weeds in it, and it will not blossom. And that is exactly what happened with Daddy. So this is how she became a superstar that she is today. And then I started with a lot of exposure. I exposed her to a lot of things because I already knew I was going to have only one child. So when I knew I was going to have one child, I just knew that I would go to face this one. I cannot have one child when they craze. She must have sense by force. She must really, really have sense. And obviously, there's another thing I know that people say that children of pastors and children of teachers, and I'm a teacher, by the way. So children of pastors, children of teachers, that they craze. They always have K-leg. They're the worst. They're the this. So I just already knew that narrative was not going to be mine. There was no way that mine was going to have sense. I knew that. So it was a decision. So that intentionality was there right from the womb. The kind of prayers I was even praying right from the womb, I already knew that God there was an agreement. And when I knew it was only her, I said to God, if she's going to be only her, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to fight you for another child. I'm not going to even go and be saying I'm going to do IVF or anything. That's my choice. So I'm not opposed to it. I just cannot be bothered. Because I'm not carrying this child when we get to heaven, according to the Bible, we don't know each other. We don't even know our husband and wife. So why am I doing gra trying to, pack children and say I'm leaving one legacy? Everything's going to erase. So all those things don't matter to me, to be honest. To be honest, that's how I think. And it may be a bit extreme. It may be extreme, but
I don't even think it's extreme. I don't even think it's extreme. It's the truth. It just sounds extreme, but it's the truth.
So I just knew that if I have this one, she's going to do, God is going to just do everything. And that was the agreement I had with God. I said, okay, since it's going to be one you're going to give me, please make her the best ever. And to the glory of God, he has kept his own part of the bargain, and he continues to do so. So when she got to school, already when she was in primary school, she didn't have a mobile phone. In class primary 6, she was about the only one that did not have a mobile phone. But her self-esteem was intact because I always told her that this is the reason why you don't have a mobile phone. However, if you need to contact any of your friends, then you can reach them via my own mobile phone. I explained many, many things to her. And there was a time when there was an incident in her class where there was all this girly thing. There was something happened on WhatsApp. There was trouble. She was one that came to me and said, Mommy, I now realize why you didn't want me to have a mobile phone. So she was learning. I always carried her along. But in primary school, she had this issue with some of the girls. Now, she's very sporty. She's very good at music, very good at academics, very good at so many things. So naturally, when a child or a human being, anybody is thriving in the environment, you would have a lot of haters around you. It's a natural phenomenon. It's not anything about because it is her. It is anybody. If you're doing well, if you're doing well, there are going to be people that are not going to like you. So I've always spoken to her like an adult. I've never really done the go gaga mommy. I've never really been that kind of mom. I've always been like clear with her and told her many things. So her head is really full. Even before she was 10, I already told her that about masturbation, pornography, all those things, so that nobody would deceive her on any table. So she knew she was really, really loaded with a lot of things. So as her teacher, Mr. Tomilawo, always said, he said, Dada, you are in a league of your own. You are miles ahead of your mates. He always told her that consistently for 5 years. He always told her that because he was the form tutor. So affirmations worked a lot for Daddy because we always affirmed her. Now, affirmation, and you can say, okay, you're affirming your child, you're praising your child, but you don't overdo it. Because if you overdo it, you're praising the child, you're idolizing the child, and then you can get it wrong. Because, like I said, you can want to get parenting so right that you get it so wrong. Now, she carried this thing to secondary school. When she got to secondary school, some of the seniors, I think in the first couple of weeks, one of the seniors landed her a hot slap. And we were wondering, what did you do to have gotten this hot slap? And it was a girl. And I was wondering, what did she do to deserve this type of hot slap? It became a big deal. The girl got suspended anyway because it was unprovoked. Apparently, this is what they do to the new girls, that new students that come to the school. And by the way, she wasn't even a boarder. I wouldn't even dream of her being in boarding school. But she still landed this kind of slap. Anyway, by the time I did my research, I said, yeah, I'm a researcher. I researched the family of the girl. I checked everything out, and I found some dysfunctionality already. The girl was already troubled. High flyer. The girl was doing well in her grades, but Obviously, there was trouble at home.
Mm.
I now spoke to the mother of the girl. She said so many things, and I knew that this was where the problem was coming from. So as a result of her suspending, getting that girl suspended, a lot of the girls in the school, this was how the whole thing started. The bullying started, the stigmatization started, all sorts of things started happening to her. At some point, I was even thinking of removing her because they were like, oh, you're the one that got X suspended, you're the one that got Y suspended. And because a lot of girls have not been raised with standards, at some point, one boy said to her, will you calm your tits down? And she came and told me that the boy said, will you calm your tits down? And I said to her, do you know that is sexual harassment? This sort of thing, if he takes you to the office or something, this is wrong. Boys should not speak to you. What if you say, could you calm your dick down? Is that going to come out very well? It's not, it's wrong. So we marched to the school, the boy was suspended. This boy was suspended, this was another wave now started. Now, the people that stood up for that day and said, no, it is correct for her to have reported, and there's no way you should speak like that to a lady, we're guys. The people that were saying, is it only because he said calm your tits? He didn't do anything. He didn't touch you. He didn't come on. Those ones were girls. And I started to wonder at that point that, where are the standards? Is it not the girls that should get together and fight this sort of harassment? But I now came to realize that the girls have no standards. They've not been groomed. They've not been taught that you must have a standard as a girl, as a woman. You must have a boy cannot talk to you anyhow. A boy cannot strap you or touch your thighs or put his hand across your, you don't give them the permission to do all those sort of things. And because Daddy was upright, she's upright in her ways, it was a difficult walk for her. It almost broke her. Now, in the process of me trying to counsel her and get her out of this thing, because it was such a difficult thing for her, being upright, I'm telling you guys, if your child in this generation, if your child is going to be upright in secondary school, it is most challenging. It's so hard, and that's why they keep on falling, because they're not rooted and grounded in the word. They're not rooted and grounded in the values and the morals that their parents have given them. So they fall anyhow. And because friendship at that point is very important to teenagers, they prioritize friendship over their parents many times. And it's normal. It's a normal stage of development. But they fall. They fall because there's no guidance. So a lot of them accept all sorts of things from boys. And because they did not accept all these sort of things, she kept being isolated. Sometimes she would go to school, she said, I don't really have any girlfriends, I don't really have friends. And I said to her that day, as long as your mother has consented to you having boys as your friend, that's fine. You're not touching anybody, you know your boundaries. I've educated you in so many ways. The boys were the ones that were always talking to her. Tobe, Muna, Bolu, AKB, and the likes. I keep mentioning their name. I still mentioned their name when I spoke at Elevation Church this Sunday. I keep mentioning their names because they were there for her. I cannot tell you that there was one girl, I can't tell you one girl that was there for her when this case happened. They were not there for her. And the way that these girls are, a lot of the girls, as you said at the beginning, there will be the competition, there will be the envy, and all those sort of things. That is very, very beautiful. She's very, very pretty. I say that not because she's my daughter. It's obvious. Go to her page, you see. She's a very fine girl. That was another pressure. That was another problem for girls. Because at that point, it's a normal thing to also compete. All these unhealthy antisocial behaviors that girls exhibit at that point in time, they are actually very normal. But what is not right is when they do not have guidance from the parents. The parents ought to be guiding them and telling them that, it's okay when you see another girl, you can say she's beautiful. You can praise her. When that day was in primary school, anybody that had a birthday in her class, I would tell her, I used to have this little postcards. I would give it to her, and I would give her maybe chocolate or any small thing and say, go and give your friends. And they used to say in primary school, is it everybody you give? You're wasting your time. That kind of thing. But I was teaching her that she should appreciate people. I was teaching her to always praise people. And it was not because we were so rich, because sometimes very small things. It could be a cute pen or a pencil. There's a pen here like this. I could give something this cute to the child. And it was inexpensive, I wanted her to do that. And I always tell her, when we go out, if you see someone looking nice, don't flatter. If you think it's nice, always praise. So I taught her to praise other girls so that she's not intimidated by other people, whether they're looking nicer than her, whether they're carrying the latest gear or not. So you find that there was a lot of unhealthy competition. And obviously, she's an only child. There's an element of spoiling that will happen. So she always had the nice bags, the nice stationery, and I'm also a teacher. You can see the pen I brought now. I have them, the full ground, all these kind of things. So I was always bringing all those sort of things. And then Daddy is also a goody two shoes. So all her teachers loved her. When she was leaving primary 6, she won 3 awards. I think it was the best in this, best in that, and then one of them was teacher's pet. This is how much she helps in the class. So she carried that behavior to secondary school, and obviously they didn't like it. The girls didn't like it. Like, oh, you want to be noticed, you want to be this, but that is actually who she is. So what happened is, as a result, she was struggling to want to be friends with them. And I said, you cannot struggle to want to be friends with anybody. You are so much, yes, you are enough. You are good enough. So my dear, if it's only the boys that you're talking to, it is fine. I don't mind. And she was actually talking to very intelligent boys. So when she graduated in primary 6 and secondary school, year 11, she had, you can check it on my page, multiple awards. We couldn't even carry it, as in multiple awards in my hands. I couldn't even believe it. I was telling her that, Daddy, can you see the price of being upright? Look at how God has rewarded you. I wasn't even expecting those things on that day. I just thought we were going for graduation. I had forgotten that there was prize giving day. Best in this, best in that, best in this. They were just calling her, and calling her. I was just flabbergasted. You know, and that is how God rewards our children, when we give them the right values. So along the way, it wasn't easy. At some point, I had to apply therapy unconsciously to her without her knowing that what I was doing. From the conversations I was having with her, from the things she was doing, she now birthed a book. When she birthed the book, Calm Down is the name of the book. Can you bring me a copy of your book? So she birthed the book, and guess what? The girls were jealous again.
Of course.
They were jealous. But when she put it in the group, no, one of the boys, I think, put it in the group, whatever groups that they have. And the boy, sorry? Oh yeah, get it from me, please. And do you know the people that started buying the books first?
It was the boys.
It was the boys. In fact, I don't even know any girl that bought a book till today. Did any girl buy a book? No.
They were reading it secretly in the hostel.
So they will see them reading it secretly in the hostel, or maybe their parents bought it. They will not read it they will not give her any feedback. But the boys. So I was thinking, what is going on right here? I was just trying to study girls. I wanted to understand. So I started to buy books about girls. I had ordered this parenting thing, but I wanted to specifically think, what is going on in the mind of a girl? And I now realized that a lot of them are actually modeling their parents. So this is Dade's book. This is Dade's book.
I was hoping we were going to hit there.
Yeah, this is Dade's book.
Now what's the title of Dade's book?
Calm Down. Calm Down.
Calm Down. Yes.
So this book tells of her story in school, how she overcame everything that she overcame. It was very, very challenging. But I realized that a lot of these girls were modeling their parents and the exposure that they had, the people that they had been exposed to. That was what was happening. So a girl cannot just behave anyhow without authorization from the parents. And that is it.
Yeah.
Your authorization and your consent as a parent is not necessarily, you can go and do bad things. No. It is what they see you do. If they see you bitching around, gossiping about your friends or your sister or anything.
You got it.
So they're going to do it. You are telling them that it's okay to gossip about your friends. See, if I fall out with a friend or a sister, I will never go and say to my daughter, don't greet her again, no. The Auntie Kineko is this or Auntie Kineko is that. No. What are we even, if she knows that I've fallen out with somebody, you can get the book. Just send me a DM or send Dade a DM, any of us, and we'll get you the book.
DM either of us, DM her, DM Dade Posh as well.
Yes.
DM all of us, all right? And we'll connect to you so you can get the book. Get your girls reading this book, because if you use it right, it can inspire your daughter to step into her own essence, her own self.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Mom.
So what I did was, anytime I mean, it's not often, but if I find that I've fallen out with somebody and she's aware of it, I will say, let's pray for the person. And if it's her friend, I said, let's pray for your friends. Let's pray for your friends or whatever. If somebody upsets her, I said, or maybe she got troubled at home. Maybe something is bothering her in the family. So we use that as something, we don't say, oh, she's a bad girl. She's a horrible girl. No, I don't go through that approach. What I do is let us pray for that person so that she can see that there's positive energy, positive vibe still coming out irrespective of how that person, of what that person has done. So I will do the life lessons, the moral lessons that come out of it, but I will say, don't hate, because the book is 4,000 naira. The book is 4,000 naira, and then you pay for the delivery. And then she has an e-book. She has an e-version of the book, which is 3,000, and you can get it electronically. So that's your choice. So I would continuously tell her that so that she doesn't hate. So that is not somebody that. In fact, there was a time that one of her friends upset her. This one was a girl, and they were getting on fairly well, and this one upset her so badly, and I was thinking, in fact, I was already pumped up. I was already angry and everything, but the day that should even be more angry was not saying maybe this. She was not giving excuses for her. I was thinking, what type of good person is this? You're even, you're so good. But it's because I had modeled so many that even when I wanted to be bad, she didn't even allow me to do all those sort of things. So all the things that we're doing, and then when we are raising these children, we find that what is important to them are just basic things. But parents don't allow children to be children. Before you know what's happening, they're already braiding their hair at 5 years old to their bum, giving them colored braids, polishing their nails and their hair and everything. And some people say it's only clear polish or it's pink polish, it doesn't matter and everything. But they need to be children. They need to be babies as long as possible. Because what is happening in the world is that we're sexualizing these children too early. And in fact, nobody should be sexualized actually. But we're sexualized. Nobody should be sexualized. And they are being sexualized. So their priorities, even at age 5, is, oh, what hair will I do? What lipstick am I going to wear? Because you are the one that is allowing them. If a child is just doing normal packing or DD or whatever it is, all those basic children's hair, they're not going to be dreaming of which style or anything. But now you see that even when there's this hairstyle I want to do on Thursday like this, and that hair is too much, smashing, banging hair. But guess what? It was a child that taught me about that hair. She said I should check Pinterest. I was thinking of hairstyle to do. The girl said I should check Pinterest and I should check for layered braids. I've never heard it from adults.
Layered braids.
I'm telling you, the hair is banging. In fact, on Thursday, just come to my page and come and see fine girl, because I'm doing that. It was an 11-year-old girl that told me about the hair, and I was thinking, these children are exposed to too much. It's too much information. So just leave them to be children. Which one is painting of nails and they're showing their bellies and wearing bomb shorts, and you say it's cute. It's the men that are sick and everything. We already know the world we live in. So preserve their innocence. Preserve the things that they are doing. But because they're exposed to everything, they're already thinking, this summer, I want to have my hair done. I want to have my nails done. Can you imagine? Me and small girl will be in the salon, will be dragging hair. Perhaps who will do nail, who will do hair with 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 10-year-old child. That is the world that we are.
Okay, hold on.
My eyes are good, Otemi. My eyes are good. I'll just, nothing wrong with my eyes. My eyes are good. To the glory of God. The eyes are...
So are you saying that there are families that fix the nails of much younger children?
Yes, they fix the nails of their children. So
okay, you're going to teach us today.
So they fix the nails of the children. So the child is not thinking about the toys they're going to play with. They're not thinking about the climbing of this or going on bouncy castle, all those things. They are thinking about how pretty the makeup they're going to wear, the lip gloss they're going to wear. Because the parents convince themselves and lie to themselves that, it's clear, they're doing clear, or they're doing pink, or it's nude, or something like that. They tell those lies to them so that they can comfort themselves. But the thing is that you are still allowing the girls to you're still allowing the girls to spend time on cosmetic things. They don't need all those things at that age. So you find young children and they're browsing for tops. They're browsing for all sorts of things, that they shouldn't be, but they don't even have time to be browsing all those things. So they will just be doing all sorts of nonsense online. And that is because the parents are allowing them, they're indulging them. And oftentimes the parents are not available for the children. So they feel, oh, let me just give them money to buy anything. Use my card, order anything online. Then you find that they're ordering all sorts of things. Now, you see 16-year-olds now. You'll be wondering if they're 16-year-old or they're 24-year-olds. You see them, all those tops that are covering only the nipple now. That's what they're wearing. And then you even find that a lot of parents are so ignorant. In fact, there's some that I actually know that we have mutual places that we attend that we will talk and they'll say, these children of nowadays, this and that, they will say their own. But their children are on Snapchat doing rubbish. They have no clue. They have no clue what their children are doing because they don't have emotional connection. So you are saying ABC, but your child is doing XYZ. You know, you don't connect with your children. So you must connect to your children at the most basic level. Connect with them. Preserve their childhood. Otherwise, they will just go on and on and on and be behaving in all these evil kind of ways. They don't know how to compliment. They don't know how to apologize. They don't know how to praise their friends. They don't know how to support their friends. And because a lot of parents also don't give their children responsibilities. Their children don't have responsibilities. So even, I'm not talking about just chores in the house. I'm talking about your children volunteering in church, volunteering in the mosque, volunteering at an orphanage or something like that, so that they can know that life is not about beauty. Life is not about them. Life is more than, it's bigger than you. It's outside of you. Go into the world, preach the gospel, go and do other things. Life is not about come back from school and you're brushing your hair and you're wearing wig. Some of them are wearing wig, human hair wig. You know, this is what is happening now. You know, that they're all thinking of hair and everything. Give them responsibility. Give them skills to learn. Let them go and learn photography. Let them go and learn. That then now she's learning. She's not even learning. She has learned how to DJ. She's a DJ. So if you're looking for DJ for your parties now, for children parties, you're not going to club. She can DJ. You know, she's learning. Let them learn things. Let their life not be about beautiful hair. That time will come. They will have more than enough time to do all of that. But we find that no, we don't want to, have those deep conversations. Instead of having those deep conversations, we will just say, mommy and me, me. So you wear one stupid clothes, then your child is wearing it. You find that a 30-something-year-old, 40-something-year-old woman wants to be wearing the same thing like a 16-year-old and behaving like a child. Then the child does not respect you. They don't understand boundaries and they don't see you as a role model because you have dropped yourself. The foolishness that is supposed to abound in a child is now abounding in the parents. And that is what we are seeing these days because everybody wants to be the woke mom, the cool dad. So they're so cool that the children don't even respect them anymore. They're thinking, they will talk to them and they're thinking, what is this? I'll give you another example. About 2 weeks ago, Dada and I went for a pedicure in a salon. This lady came to the salon and she said to them, I think she had been before. She said, oh, this is my daughter, the one I told her she's going to come and learn hair, how to plait hair. So they brought a doll. The doll of the dummy, whatever they call it. So yeah, like a mannequin, the head. So she brought it to the salon and said, okay, this is she left, said, okay, bye. So as she was going, she wanted to kiss the child. So she went and hugged the child. The girl just moved back, like, please don't hug me kind of thing. And it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing because we were like 20 people in the salon. And I was thinking, what's going on right here, freaky, Killing. So the mom was like, oh, she just made one stupid excuse and left. That's what happened after that. That girl just gave those hairdressers one funny look. They didn't even move near her. She sat in a nice, comfortable leather chair and pressed her phone till I left. This girl did not do anything hair plaiting. Now, what has gone wrong there? The mom is thinking that she's trying to upgrade the girl and teach her a skill. But the girl, no send down. Because that's not what she wants to do. She's probably not even interested. Maybe mommy should have done her homework and realized that the girl wants to do something else. Maybe graphic design, maybe photography, maybe anything else, but not hairdressing that you like. Because sometimes we want to project our life onto our children. We want them to do what we want, and then we frustrate them. We frustrate them like, okay, you wish you knew how to plait hair, so that when you japa to the abroad, you can be plaiting hair on the side and getting money. I'm not interested. I want to do other things. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a social media influencer. And you're thinking, which can work with that? No. Because you don't understand that you are living in a completely different generation. So there's a disconnect between parents and their children. So what they do is they begin to engage their peers. And they begin to engage different platforms, online platforms, and they begin to get the wrong information. Because no matter where they go, they will get information, whether good, whether bad. But oftentimes, when they don't get that right foundation at home, what happens is that they go out there and they go and get any kind of thing. And that's what is happening.
Yes.
You find that social media is leading a lot of the women. Now, not too long ago, I don't go out much. Most of the things I do in my estate. I'm always in Ikoyi all the time. I'm not a wanderer, except I go for a speaking engagement. So after we were on holiday, my daughter wanted to go out, my friend wanted to go out. We said, okay, let's all go out. We went to Lekki. I've never seen anything like that in my life. It was as if I was not in Nigeria. It was as if I was in another strange country. I was seeing girls with body augmentation left, right, and center. Boob job, bottom job, all sorts of things, all sorts of clothes. And I went to one store in one day. In fact, we sat down almost 3 hours. This was how dumbfounded I was, and my friend and my daughter. We see these things online, but I did not realize that it was so much that girls were entering that store and they were like, all of them had big boobs or perfect boobs, perky boobs, big bottom, thin waist. Some of them, the doctor obviously got it wrong, like tabletop bottom and all sorts of things. And I was thinking, is this Nigeria? So they've come to a point where it's not now only the clothes and the things and all those things, clothes, hair weave on. They've now added body. So for you to even have a normal body, you will be left out. You're not normal if you have normal body, if you see what I mean. Because everybody has fake body. Now, if you are already introducing your child to makeup, hair, and all those sort of things, and they're already competing at that age, and they already have self-esteem issues, issues with their self-worth, issues with confidence, when they go up, they're continually doing all these things, sexualizing themselves to the point where when they now go up, they will never feel good enough, no matter what. You see, when they finish this body augmentation, something else will start. They will start doing it again. And you'll find that a lot of the pioneers of the trend of this BBL, like the Kim Kardashians and they started removing their own body implants because their skin is stretching, they're getting old, they are realizing that it's not even good for them anymore. They're taking it out. But guess what? When Nigeria do our own go pass everybody own. So our own is now so much that you find that I was seeing girls that look like 18, 19, 20, and I'm doing all this sort of thing. I think where they get the money. And people are like, all these guys will sponsor them. I still couldn't believe it. I shot the email on a post on Facebook. People were not telling me that, don't get pushed, don't you go out. It's everywhere. Go to this supermarket in Lekki one. The food there now. That's the normal thing. It's a normal. So as if I'm the one that was actually out of it. I am the one that was actually out of it. Girls are augmenting your body now is like
I'm
nothing.
hearing this for the first time, Ronke. I'm hearing this for the first time.
It's a norm now. It's a norm. I was like, huh? We sat in the shop. We were there for almost 3 hours. In fact, they even had a restaurant. We went there to go and buy food just to be looking and saying, God, what's in be this? Is this the world we are living in? And they will continue. Enough is never enough when it comes to things like that. And our girls will continue. And because they cannot even afford a lot of these things, and they have not been taught, a lot of children have not been taught, the girls have not been taught to work hard. And it's modeling again. You will see that your parents, if they go to their mom and say, oh, mom, I need to buy some folders, some pencils, and some biros for school, and I need something for my project. Say, go and meet your father. Go and meet your father.
Yeah.
All the time, your children are constantly going to their father. They don't see you as anybody that can provide anything. And then you will come on social media as the woman and say, the man is the breadwinner. He is the breadwinner. He has to be taking care of us. La 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 la. So your child does not even believe that a woman should earn, let alone have money to spend on themselves. There should be a time when you go out with your child and you are the one buying the designer gear. If you can't even afford designer, you should be the one saying, mommy is the one taking you out for a treat today. She's buying the burger, the chips, the this, and she's treating you to this nice flip-flop or trainers. It is coming from mommy's pocket. All I have, I share with you. I get it. But let her know that you are the one bringing it out. Now, a lot of these girls don't know that women should be bringing things out. All they are doing is money from men. Because they've seen
it. To get the attention of men is fine.
So all they want to do, in fact, in that shop, we had girls doing like this with their phones, showing guys the clothes they were wearing, as in, baby, do you like this one? Can you come, credit my account kind of thing? And I'm thinking, what's in this? Is this the life that girls are now living? So they have, and to meet up, they will continue and continue and continue. And that's why they are frustrated. You see that on social media, every other time you sign that this girl, they'll say the slay queen stabbed her boyfriend, slay queen killed her this or poisoned. and all sorts of things, or they're taking them for rituals, because even the boys are under pressure because they're constantly getting demands from not only one girl. Different girls are asking them, so they feel the need to do the yahoo, they feel the need to do the ritual killings, and they take these girls. And these girls are so ignorant because they want so much that their sixth sense is no longer working, because all they want is acquisition. So even the parents don't encourage. They will tell you that you must marry a rich guy. They've sent you to school.
You will clean our squares.
You've done the degree. Exactly. You've done the degree, you've done the masters, you've even done, some of them will even do the college. They will not go into the house and they say, I'm coming for Mugo, just be giving better, I want plenty grandchildren. You now find that all that education has been wasted. Has been wasted. So I wonder why we're even sending girls to school when we don't even want them to work. It's as if we're sending them so that the world will not say, my child no go school, at least they no go say my own, you read book. You read book for what? They don't even make a difference in the society. A lot of them are being abused by men in their marriages, and they cannot get out of those marriages because they have no funding, they have no money. So they will stay there. They will stay there.
Nothing. They don't even know the pathway to nothing. And this will be people that we probably look at in society and say, oh, she's so well off, she has everything, she can afford everything. But she can't be her own person. You know, this is why one of the things I always tell parents is that financial education is sex education for girls. Financial education is sex education for girls, because you're telling her that your body is not an ATM machine. Your body should not be producing money. Your mind should be, and you're capable, and you're gifted. What about, I read one time where a woman said her mother asked her to go to
her network. I guess she'll be back shortly, guys. Hi guys, can you hear me? I need to know that it's not me. Let me go to my page and see if it's me or the lady. Check my Instagram to see if it's lady or I.
I'm having a wonderful time.
I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are, and I hope the community is also they're having a good time.
Yes,
so we don't want our children to go to school and not use it.
They're coming back in.
Yes, our children have to be able to add value in society. And you would find that a lot of people will argue that, taking care of children is adding value. It is adding value. But everybody, as long as they're mentally, emotionally, and psychologically able to add value, they should. And in these days, there are digital means of also making money. And you find that, I'm telling you, even though people will argue with me with this one, when you are earning as a woman, it increases your confidence. It also allows your husband to respect you even more, that you are bringing something. You see, it doesn't have to be billions. It doesn't have to be so much. But add value. Let them see that you are able to do something. And people say, I have 6 children, I have 7 children, or blah, 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 blah. But that's another topic. That's another topic completely. I can't even start that one now. But the thing is, we must try so that we can be that inspiration, that role model to our children. Because the role models that our children have out there, the footballers and the celebrities, they are actually earning. Even the ones that are singing, what's that song that they're singing? Somebody's song will find me one day. Somebody's song will find you. And all of you are singing somebody's song will find you one day. But the person that sang the song is actually earning money too. She's earning money, but you are singing the song, waiting for somebody's son to come and save you. But she is making money through the sales and the downloads of her video.
Somebody's man is not even wrong, sir.
So can we see that we're missing it?
Some people are even waiting for somebody's man to
come and help them. So we have to understand that we must be seen as people that, as role models to our children, especially our young children. If your child is not calling you as a role model in their early years, under 10 and that kind of thing, if they say, who is a role model? Mom, dad should actually be one of the people that they call. But when they start saying, it is this footballer, it is this musician, you will know that something has fundamentally gone wrong. Eventually, they will find those role models. They will find that maybe they, like, at some point, my daughter liked She was doing gymnastics, so she loved Simone Biles, and we bought Simone Biles books. She was following Simone Biles, everything. Simone Biles, even now, she still says Simone Biles is getting married. You know, she's still a Simone Biles. But at the start, you should be their hero. They should just look at you. You are so awesome. It's not like you just be at home, you tie wrapper, you know, you're always smelling on food and the baby milk and all those sort of things. You're not even sexy in any way, you know, and they just look at you. You know, when they were friends are around or something, they don't want you around. They're kind of like ashamed. And these children in this day and age, a lot of them are actually somewhat ashamed of their parents because they're the parents that they don't know how to press phone. What is this? Come and help me update my WhatsApp. You know, digital literacy is very important in this generation. It's very important. You don't have to know how to code and know all the complicated things in the whole world, but relate. You have to be relatable. So if your child is saying, "Oh, somebody sent me a snap," you're like, wouldn't be that, you know, there's something fundamentally wrong. There's something fundamentally wrong. You have to be relatable, and you have to be your child's friend. Show your child how to be a friend, because you will fall out with your child at some point, and you will be friends most of the time. Let your relationship with your daughters be a model and a template of how they will be friends with other people. They will know that when they have friends in school, they can fall out, but they can still be friends again. They can be friends and have things in common, interests in common. They can pray together, you know. They will have so many things. And they know that in this world, I just tell my daughter that in this world, we all cannot win at the same time. We cannot win at the same time. It will be boring, it will be monotonous, it will be nothing to look forward to. So we can't win at all the time. So at some point in life, maybe they want winning one award or for sports or for anything. Celebrate them. We must teach girls how to celebrate other people. That is where the problem is. It's so bad that, you know what, you can go and post one fine picture on your Instagram, for example. The picture is so fine that nobody in the whole world can. This one is not a test of beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The picture is just so fine. This one, the picture is so fine. You will see that your friends will not be able to click like. This is how bad it is for some people. Ordinarily, like, how many megabytes, microbytes is it going to take to click like?
Take you to just to appreciate.
But they can't do it. If they see someone like, oh, Roger Posh is doing all these amazing things, everybody's, maybe I put a post out or put a tip out and people are saying, oh, this is awesome, this is how I'm going to implement. Somebody will not come and write something nasty. Okay? It's not a new thing. You see them, I go delete them. I don't even have the time. Block straight.
Exactly. Why are you trying to take away from this?
Negative energy. So when my daughter started, when she was 16, she now had access to her Instagram, because she had Instagram but I was not managing it. So she started to see how life was on social media, because you have to prepare them for social media. You don't just give them their phone. You have to have a contract, agreement, consequences, everything for social media. So she started seeing that when everybody will be saying something nice, this person will be saying something bad. And she was wondering, I said, that's life, my dear. Can you say that what is happening to me happens to you? Because human beings are the same. We are just going around in circles. What's different versions of the same hate? So they can't even say, oh, your hair is fine. Oh, this is pretty. Or each of them, and then it's because they also learnt it too.
What does it take from you to say that? What does it take from you to say that?
But let me give you a very good example. There's a lady that told me that her mother never complimented her. She was very, very beautiful, and her mother too was very, very beautiful. So instead of her mother to say, oh, you're so pretty, see your face, you know, all those kind of Nigerian things. Ugly girl, oh, see your face. Or maybe see your dress. See your, somebody is looking somehow today. But she will never come out and say it. Even though she was saying it in a joking way, because she doesn't know how to praise. So she
doesn't know how to.
She can't even take herself to even her own child. She can't say it to her own child. This is how bad it is.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you this. It's going to shock you. I know someone whose mom told her on her wedding that, thank God, at least your husband will give you a facelift. Then the mother said, you know, we are not really beautiful. We have high cheekbones. On her wedding day. But you know, there's grace for her mother because no one told her mother either. So, you know, one of the things I wanted you to talk about tonight was what happens when a mother is broken and she's listening to you, Ronke. She knows she has been an envious woman. She knows she has been a bitter woman. She has been all of these things. But now there's a trust for her to raise a wholesome woman. Because these things are passed on.
Yeah.
And so you just look at how your grandmother carried herself and how your mother carried herself. And then you start to see those traits. And this night, I want you to help mothers who are like, look, I've been bitchy myself.
Yeah.
Whenever my child talks to people anyhow, I feel like, yeah, that's how you feel that they're on top.
Yeah.
Where do I start from? What are the building blocks to start with? Because what you're saying, there is no one on this call that cannot relate with it. There is no one.
You see, when we talk about generational curses, we always think, oh, they die early in this family. They don't make it to 45. They don't make it to 60. Oh, they always have this disease or that disease. And that's what we always think is a generational cause. But even generational cause are simple things like this thing that we're talking about. It's actually a generational curse. When you're carrying so much pain, you know, the saying goes that hurt people hurt people. So the first place where you start from is that you have to recognize and say to myself, you are an envious person. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, wait, you have not tried at all. But, you've been carrying if you have to get a journal and pour everything out and go and burn it after, it's okay. Just write it down that you have been carrying this burden. You've been carrying this envy, jealousy, bitterness, hatred. You know, a lot of people have it, even from sibling rivalry. They can't support their siblings, all sorts of things. They've been carrying it all their life. Because you cannot help yourself. You're like an alcoholic. If you don't say you're an alcoholic, nobody can help you. You have to first of all admit that you're an alcoholic. So the same thing applies. If you know you're an envious person, start with telling yourself that you're an envious person. That's where you start that one from. Now, everybody's going to say, oh, this is what you pray about is go and tell your pastor, counselor, go and tell the deacon in your church to pray, the imam, and then pray, and then cast it out of your book. It's fine. We like to do that in Nigeria. In Nigeria, anything, if I'm selling this notebook, for example, and nobody is buying this notebook. Buy my notebook, oh please, buy my notebook. Nobody is buying my notebook. If I say Holy Ghost notebook, Jesus notebook, you know, if I just put anything like that, I will finish selling it tomorrow because we're very religious. We're not necessarily spiritual, but we are religious.
Yes.
So if you want to do your religious, I believe in Jesus. I believe he's the Son of God. But I also know that he said we should study to show ourselves approved. He knows that people have studied. Don't be ashamed. You know, so you should make sure that you get someone that has studied something. So this is in form of a teacher, a counselor. I don't always recommend people going to pastors. I personally don't. I mean, get the prayers that you want. But there's a lot of abuse. And the Bible says that in this day and age, there are going to be wolves in sheep's clothing. And they are rampant everywhere. If you like, say, I trust my pastor. What I would recommend is someone that is neutral, a professional. Get a professional to work with you. It is important because you will find that what is breaking, you see, a lot of people have problems in their marriages. They will have problems at work because things show up, hotspots, you know, how you do one thing, how you do everything. If you are struggling with one thing in your office, you are struggling with it in other aspects of your life. If you are always late to work, you'll be late to church, you'll be late to parties, you will see it everywhere. So if you're always jealous here, you'll be jealous everywhere. Jealous. It's not only one person. So what you need to do, get a professional. And a lot of people don't want to invest in professionals. They'll come to me, they say, Ronke, come and help me with this. Can I go and say, oh, my consultation is 50K. And 50K is just to tell me, it's just to talk. If it's just, then do it. If it's just, then do it yourself. Because the amount of money I spent on my training and development, and someone like me, this head is very, very full. So if you're not willing to spend on yourself, then you don't love yourself. And not loving yourself is also something we call learned helplessness. A lot of people don't love themselves enough to get the help they need. So they live with the envy and the jealousy and all those things. They leave it and pass it on to their children. They keep passing it because they cannot spend 50K, 100K to even begin a journey of transformation for their lives. They can't do it. But you must invest. If you want the results, you have to invest. So you will invest so that somebody can help you know the hotspots and the origin of your envy or your jealousy or whatever it is that you have. Somebody will help you dissect it and say, this is the problem that you have, and this is the way forward. And everybody should be working with a therapy in one capacity or the other, because they will help you see your blind spots and they will help you to heal. Because if you don't heal, you will keep hurting your children. Your children will hurt other people. They will keep on doing it, you know. So you must, and then a lot of people now, they will now grow up and they will learn how to camouflage. They become chameleons. So when they're here, they will be green. When they're here, they'll be blue. When they're here, they'll be yellow. So they are like mixed, multiple personality. It's like they're going crazy. Next tomorrow now, you hear that they're depressed, they are sad, they are this, and they've committed suicide, something has happened. And that's what we find. And this generation, they're very fickle. A lot of them are not very resilient. Before you know happening, any small thing like this, they don't go with that. And we have to be sensitive to the fact that this is the caliber of children that we have, and we must strengthen them, give them challenges so that they are able to be strong children. So my daughter finished, she finished from secondary school, and she wants to work in the media. And I have a lot of contacts in the media, and I know that she will get a job in the media. But I did not start her in the media. Where did I start her? There's a supermarket in my estate. I went there, we always go there, said, this your pikin is coming to do work here. You people teach her to use POS and computer here. They were laughing like, madam. I said, I'm serious. I am serious. And then before you know happening, she was there. They couldn't believe it. They could not believe it. Irene's Wi-Fi is, okay, it's back. So they couldn't believe it. But to be honest, she spent 2 or 3 weeks there, and she learned so many. Tell me the things that you learned. She POS, stocking, supply, arranging shelf, inventory management, customer service. She learned all those skills. And I also taught her, that in this life, you are not going to always be in an air-conditioned office. Choose your path. If you want to be doing this one, that's what they do. This is what you will face. And if you want to do, and when I go and speak, for example, if I go and speak and they give me my check, I will show her my check, that this is what I collected. And she'll be like, Mom, but you only spoke for 1 hour or 2 hours. I say, yeah. So choose your path. Let her see. Let her see. Let her understand. Let your children be involved in money. Don't just say, oh, your school fees. I have paid your school fees. Oh, you are going to London. Let them know that this is how you are earning it. No be beans.
The process.
Let them earn. Let them earn. Let them know things. And all those things help to build our children. It helps to build our girls. So we must make sure that our girls, they get all the confidence from us, all the compliments. They should come, I would tell people that even if you're a single mom, you should look for a trusted man. It doesn't have to be living with you or be your lover, but you should look for a trusted man that can help you have that father figure, role model.
For the child.
Because it's a relationship that men can also teach their girls, can teach women,
Yes.
I can remember my parents, they did our own generation, they did their own how they knew how. And one of the things my dad used to say is that if you make a mistake with any guy, it's your fault, because everything I know to do, I've done it. Everything I know to give, I've given it. So that was how we were raised. You must not go and meet a man because you want to collect something from him. So that is already, it was so engraved in my head that even when I met my husband and he gave me a gift, I didn't want to collect it because I kept hearing my father's voice in my head. So the man will teach you, even though you can also do that, but it's good for a man to teach your daughter, a trusted man, no, not the one that come and sexually abuse them. I'm saying it. A trusted man, it can be open plan. You don't have to be in a room or in a corner. It's just someone that they see all the time. There's someone that comes around, everybody see in open light, because this day and age, pedophile everywhere. So somebody, it can be your brother or something like that, or a colleague and then they will tell this girl that this is the expectation from a man. So if a man is not treating you well, you will know. If they're not treating you in X, Y, Z way. So you go and eat, for example. I remember my very first date that I went when I was about 18 or 19. The first date I went, I was the one that paid. And the guy was cool. He didn't have a problem with it. So obviously, I knew that na crazy with this one. Something is definitely wrong. Do you know what I mean? I already knew, even though I still went out with him, in all honesty, I will not come and lie here, but it was also out of a need of, I hadn't been to, everybody had girlfriend, boyfriend, I wanted to have by force, So even when I saw the red flags, I ignored the red flag. So if you are working with your child, one step at a time, the child will know that, Omo, in fact, you will even be telling you, I'm going on a date, Mom, this is what is happening. You'll be saying, I beg, run from there, or don't go, or don't. You should be so close to your child that your child will, Okay, so let's talk about my daughter having more male friends. So we had a hangout with her male friends, and one girl came. So there were only 2 girls and the rest were boys. And I was very, very comfortable. And I said, You know, we learned so many things. We learned the scripture, Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, be transformed by the renewal of our mind. We ate a lot of food, we played music, we did all sorts of things, and they came around, and they are good boys with good home training and all sorts of things. They were nothing to do with touching and cuddling or anything. That was not the kind of relationship that they had. Even though they have thoughts like that at this age, you would teach them boundaries, you know. So someone like my daughter, it's one thing to tell your child that, don't touch men, don't play with boys, or know your boundaries, or teach them all those sort of things. But you forget to teach them that, how about when they're getting all those tingles in their body? Because they will get it. Even children,
when they want to? What about when they
want to? Yeah. If their body is doing that shuku shuku shak 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 ching ching ching, you know, all electric sparks are happening in their body, and they get it even under the age of 10. What should they do with it? But you don't talk about parents will not talk about that part though, because you don't like boys, so don't something. No.
Yes.
My daughter and I will have a
So
conversation.
your friends are saying more things than the
I will
parents.
even ask her, I said,
Friends are
all
saying
these your
more.
friends, do they give you tingles? She said, you're like, Mom, no. But this one, I like this one in this kind of way or that kind of way. You know, so you will know how to guide them, because they are humans. You can't go say, don't like boy, don't like boy, don't like boy. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. So you have to guide them. Guide them, help them when they're going out. So even if as they're going 16, 17, 18, and they're going out, and boys, they want to go out again. On the other side, they want to go out. And they want to feel like big kids. Go to a restaurant by the beach side, by the water side, where there were sheep and boats and all sorts of things. What I did was, we went there, we paid, put money on the tab, told them to eat what they want to eat, drink and everything. And they did whatever they wanted to do. We were in the corner, and we came to pick up our children. You know, so you give them the liberty. So you start giving them little by little. Somebody said start sex education early. Yes, very, very early. And I'm talking about as soon as the child is aware, because some children are even having some kind of awareness from the age of 18 months. So you can start teaching them in basic ways. I'm sure Irene talks about that a lot on her page. Now, another thing is that body positivity, body confidence, body contentment.
Body confidence.
So we have to teach our children, because that's another thing that girls are competing with. You hardly find boys saying, I'm competing with my six-pack. I'm competing. They are body conscious, but not body conscious in the way girls are body conscious. So they don't have big breasts. They don't have kidney control. So the world is already telling girls that there are so many things you should compete with. You compete with eyelashes, your skin color. Okay, say for example, your mother is bleaching now. What are the chances that you will not bleach?
Exactly.
And as a black African, that's another thing we have to teach our children, that they are Africans. It's okay to carry your afro hair. There's nothing wrong. In fact, and the easiest way to teach your child how to take pride in their afro hair is having afro hair. No matter how thick my hair is thick. But when I wanted to teach my daughter about afro hair, I turned my hair to afro hair. Because I want her to be able to go out and be confident with her afro hair. And now, in fact, her own has grown. Her own real hair is like this one. Her own real hair is this long. We started going on YouTube, learning how to take care of it, what to put in it, the oils to put when and not to put when, what to put on the scalp, what not. We grew together. We learned about being this African woman together. Because I didn't want a situation where maybe she would leave the country and she would lose herself, you know. I'm not opposed to people wearing wigs. I wear wigs and stuff like that. But when I want to be my total African woman, I can also do that confidently. I'm very, very okay with my nappy hair. Because black people don't have straight hair. That's not how God designed us. So what else are you teaching your children and your girls when it comes to contentment, loving their bodies? How do you help them? So when my daughter was feeling, sure, she's on the bigger side like me, but not as big as I was when I was her age. I kept telling her. But she did not buy into it. So what we started doing was that we went online and we now looked at people that were doing very well, that had that almost plus size body, because she's a 12, 14, she's somewhere in between. And I started looking for models that looked like her, and good people, not just any opening body kind of people. So she started following all those kind of people. She was seeing people that looked like her, and it's normal. I don't have to be stick thin to be okay, to be beautiful. And as time went on, she started to, you know, because she's a bit of a tomboy. Sometimes she wears trousers, all those sort of things. But as time went on, when it was not time for her prom, she won prom queen, by the way.
Yes, I saw you. I saw that beautiful video where she prostrated to greet that man.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
Yes, that's another thing. We have to teach our girls to greet, you know. There's so many things. We can't finish this night. So her prom dress, I went to town because I wanted her to know how she could be a lady. And I spent a lot of money unapologetically on that dress. It was actually a couture designer, Juliet Peters, that actually does dresses for the celebrities. That's where I took the dress to. I'm not saying that that's what anybody must do, but I had a point to prove to her. I wanted her to see how beautiful she could be. Yes. And she was so beautiful. She was the prom queen. She was amazing. The videos are on my page. She was amazingly beautiful, very girly. And I took care of her. I pampered her to the point where I was rubbing oil inside her skin before the prom. I was massaging it. The glow was there. I was the one that wore her makeup for her, her hair, everything. I was involved in every single thing. Do you know that this thing worked? Because by the time she won prom queen, my mother said she wants to go shopping. We went to go and do shopping. I think she bought 5 dresses, Abby. 5 dresses. So we are now wearing dresses. Hallelujah.
We moved from tomboy to dresses.
Because she now saw how beautiful she is. She now finally understood how beautiful she can actually be. But she had been covering up. Even though she still looked nice in her big jeans and big top and everything. But she now knew that, fine girl, her curves, everything. It was there. And then one time we went on holiday, she now saw one of the people that she was following online in person. I think she's South African. A South African girl, very curvy girl. She now saw her and I said, see the person you're following on now. See how beautiful she looks. So whatever shape your girl child is, let them know that they are okay, they are beautiful. And also let them know that they can actually change in body size. Because some of them, puberty comes later on for them. So they may be stick thin now and significantly bigger. What is important is that we teach them how to be healthy. That they are eating well, and they're reducing the salt and the sugars and all those sort of things, and not eating junk food. We have to teach them so many things. And then get your girls to know how to change bulbs. When they start driving, to know how to change tire and all those sort of things. Let them do sports. My daughter plays sports for her school. When she was there, she was playing sports. She was even playing GT tournaments and all those sort of things. Karate she was doing. Anything that people think are boy things, buy them boy toys. Color blue is not for boys. Don't teach them all the sort of programming. You're telling them that they are different from boys. They cannot do it. So even some of you cannot buy some complicated things because you think, it's for boys. So they will not go into things like engineering and stuff like that, because all you are doing is buying Barbie doll. The Barbie doll you're even buying has straight hair. It doesn't even relate to the child. So the child is already looking at the Barbie doll and saying, when will my own hair be straight like this? So, buy them black babies, black dolls with afro napping. When my daughter was small, she had a black baby, scary looking black baby. We used to call her baby Dudu. And she loved baby Dudu so much. For many, many years, she loved baby Dudu until I don't know what happened to baby Dudu. Maybe she was kidnapped or something like that. So make sure that your children, they have roles that they do so that they don't feel they have to rely on a guy for everything. Okay, something happens. I need a man to come and help me change my bulb. I need a man to come and help me. I need a man for everything. It's good to have a partner. It's good. But it's not healthy to rely totally on any human being. The only person that we should be relying on totally is God. So you should not put all your being and all your essence in a man. It's even frustrating when they say that there's nothing you can do without them. Any small thing, you're carrying phone. Oh, babe. What is it that you are doing for them outside sex and cooking food? Because we have sexualized our girls.
Value. And some
What
people
value?
get offended when they say, what do you bring to the table? And I say there's nothing wrong with that question. Men are just tired of somebody waiting for them to slave while the person is maintaining status on their efforts.
That's it.
Nothing
So
wrong with
even
that
boys,
question.
if you're parents to boys, you yourself must know that they're not working because they have to look after girls. They should also look for an empowered girl, that will complement their efforts, that they will be able to build even much more. If you're going to marry a girl that is driven and they're doing stuff, you can even go much more than having this girl at home. All she wants to do is ask you money for In fact, there's another video on my page where they were asking the girl, will you go out with a working class man or a Yahoo boy? And she opened her mouth and said, Yahoo boy. They asked her why. She said, because if you ask... Yes, if you ask Yahoo boy for money, Yahoo boy will give you 50K. If it's working class will ask you, okay, what do you want to do with the money? This one. So they now know that Yahoo is stealing, but they're okay to date those boys because of the money that they will get. And that is why they date those boys, and those boys eventually use them as rituals.
Yes. Because, nobody cares. The girl is selfish about exploiting the boy. The boy, too, is selfish about exploiting the girl.
Do me, I do you.
So nobody cares eventually.
So, I know we've done an hour, so I don't know if there are questions that people want to ask or stuff like that.
The lady that asked a question earlier before we got kicked out, she said, what do you do when you're in a circle of people where you are celebrating them, but they're so jealous of you? What do you do? So you're in this circle, you celebrate their own successes, but they are not kind of reciprocating. What do you do? So
I'm assuming that this is an adult. It's her own self, not her child. Yeah, you are in a toxic relationship now. It's a toxic relationship. What do you do in a toxic relationship? You exit. There's nothing to do. You are too big now to be saying we want to manage. You exit a toxic relationship. There was a WhatsApp. There are WhatsApp groups that I have from people that I've known for many, many years. And when I found that it was toxic for me, if I post something and I'm doing or invite people, you will see some people coming up with their horns and everything. I exited because it's not healthy. It's not ecological for me. If something is not working for you, you flee. There's some things you don't even fight. You flee. Flee from the mere appearance of sin. There's something that you do not, because it will be an emotional roller coaster for you all the time. The people, and when I left the group, the healthy people that were in the group, I'm still in relation with them. We're just not talking in the group, but we're talking one-to-one in other places and doing things together in other places. So if people are not celebrating you, it's a toxic relationship. You need to get out. So just exit, leave, just close the door and say, I'm not doing it again. And you will only do it if you value yourself, if you love yourself, and you have a lot of self-worth. If you keep managing people in your life because you want to have friends or you want to have them from one thing or the other, that means you do not value and put yourself first. And the Bible says you should love your neighbor as yourself. So love yourself first and stop accepting people that are abusing you. Don't allow people to abuse you. Cut them off.
Yes. So another question here. Thank you so very much, Mom. Well said. Said, how do I help a sensitive girl child, a child who is sensitive to words? What do I do for that child?
Get her to do affirmations. Get her the Right Kid 101 book. Tell her to be doing affirmations and help her with affirmations. Let her craft her affirmations. You see, it's okay to be sensitive. Because my daughter is a sensitive girl and they wanted to stop her from being sensitive. You say, you have to be strong, you have to be hard, you have to be something. No. It's okay because she's in touch with her emotions. So you help her to build her emotions. It's nice to be sensitive and emotional. People like that are good in relationship. People like that are good in welfare. They have a place in society. So let's not try and toughen them at all. What we want to do is that we have to do it in such a way that we don't want them to be exploited or abused. That's what we don't want. But we want to affirm her, boost her confidence, help her. So continuously build her spirit up so that it's not every small thing that she will cry or all those sort of things. Let her know that, there are mean people out there and this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But if there are moments when she has to cry, just let her know that, okay, she can come to you and cry to you. There's places that you should not cry because you seem as if you're weak or stuff like that. So, but don't let her just, No, let's not do that.
Very well said. Thank you, ma'am. Someone is asking, can a 9-year-old girl learn handwork? Just before Auntie Ronke answers, she already said something about this. Your 9-year-old can learn a handwork, but it has to be something she's interested in.
Absolutely.
So don't get out of this session and say, Ronke said her daughter did gymnastics, is a DJ, we're starting gymnastics school on Saturday. It has to be something that's connected to your child so that even they can lead their learning process. Mama, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Spot on. Nothing more to add.
So Biduni said, I'm going to just do 2 more questions so that we can catch the break. So Chidima wants to know, what can you do when a particular classmate bullies a child every school year and the school feels they always discipline the child? So it's like the school will say they've disciplined this child, but we're not seeing any behavior change.
And what is it that the school has done? What is it? You want to see what the school has done and you possibly want to, if you still want the child, if the child is thriving in the school, then you probably want to involve the parents of the child as well. Because oftentimes, if the parents are not involved, they can't even help the situation. It could even be absent parents. That's why the child is reacting. Because some children don't even have parents that are present in their life. So they come to school and they look for somebody that they think is vulnerable and they are bullying. So what exactly is it that the school is doing? Because the school might actually, it might not be discipline that the child needs. It might be counseling that the child needs. So you actually want to know what the school is doing. Not going to say, we discipline. And a lot of schools will do that because it's hard work to deal with these children. So sometimes it's not actually telling them to cut grass or do one thing or the other, sweep this place or wear a jumpsuit. Sometimes they need to sit with a counselor and it will cost money, and they have to get into the mind of that child.
Yes. So I'm going to take this one question. Somebody asked a question about crushes. I think the person just go to my hand to see something. But this question, ma'am, so I want to hear your view. I also have an opinion. She says she has a child who just turned 18. She's a 200 level student in the university. She started talking about introducing her boyfriend to her mom, but her mom feels it's too early, but she's insisting. What do you advise?
Well, I don't think it's too early, and I know that I will sound one kind, devil mama. It's not too early. And then the thing is, you should be happy that she's still coming to you. Because she's in school, she can do it behind your back.
Yes, and she doesn't need to tell you.
She doesn't need to tell you because she's an adult. She's a young adult. So she loves you so much and respects you so much that she's still bringing that matter to you. Get on your knees and say, thank you, Jesus, that my child can still. So if the boy now comes to the house, you can now do an analysis paralysis and know the kind of person she's moving with. And you can even find out about the parents and everything that you need to find out. You can guide your child. But if you say it's too early, okay, I told you that my daughter had a play date and it was boys that came. They're not her boyfriends, lovers. But there are boys that are her friends. But I was comfortable in bringing them home. And I've also been to some of them, their homes, and seen their parents. It helps you to guide your child. You're actually protecting your child. So if she wants to bring the boy, please, I advise that you let her bring the boy. Guide her and say, what type of relationship are you having? This boyfriend, girl. Is the reason why, see, boyfriend is and girlfriend, they're just tags. People tag it and say, oh, she's my boyfriend because of what they want to do. So oftentimes, we're boyfriend, girlfriend because we want to kiss each other. We want to touch each other's body. Let her know, let her explain to you what a boyfriend is and what it is that they're going to be doing. But if you are pushing her away and not wanting her, you think it's too early, you will not be able to guide her. And eventually she will still date that boy behind your back. And you don't want that.
Yes. So, Tiranka, I want to thank you very much. So, I've always been a proponent to say, if girls date at 18, sometimes the naivety is still crazy.
Yeah.
But she's already at the point where she's dating.
Yeah.
So if you didn't want her to date at 18, thank God that if she did, she's still coming back to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Doctor has already told you cannot afford to say you're not ready.
Yeah.
One of the things I tell the girls is that your parents you're not supposed to be performing for your parents.
Yeah.
So because when I talk to older girls and they say, no, I can't bring my boyfriend home till we're ready to get married. I say it's sad because your parents are supposed to actually know who is in your life.
Absolutely.
Your parents are not neighbors that you want to send an invitation card to them getting married.
Absolutely.
So your parents should be people who can look at the person you're with and benefit of blind spot. They can see what you can't see. So families need to strive to build that kind of relationship. That our daughters are not trying to impress us. Like, let's say you have two daughters and they're trying to outdo each other. Who is bringing the solid guy home?
Uh-huh.
We shouldn't play with their lives like that. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't play with their lives like that. So, Antiranka, I've heard you say this across the last 50-something or more than 1 hour we've been talking. I took her there.
Okay.
I went to visit this person. You are present, blood of Jesus. Mm-hmm. You're present in a way that I'm saying, Irene, are you hearing that?
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to tell me, you run a school. This is going to be like your closing statement because I'm enjoying this so much. How do you manage in a 21st century world, educators' reality, parent? You're a coach. You're doing all kinds of trainings all over the place. How do you manage to be a present mother to daddy?
Okay, so as I said at the top, I knew I was going to have one child. So she is my priority. And a lot of people say that oh, my husband is the first person I will love the most, or whatever. They do this, you hear this thing as my husband, because when the children leave home, then it's only two of you. It's my husband, we're doing it together. Partnership is there.
Yeah.
But there are sometimes that there are times in her life, stages of development, where she's the priority in the family.
Yes.
There are times when she's the one. So I just know that whatever it is, it has to be her. No job can take her place. Even this week, I was so busy, but I had to take her to a gig in Oniru, where she went to go and DJ in a big, massive place because she wanted to gain that experience. Number one, I'd never in a million years thought I would be speaking to some of these people. Even when she went to go and see some celebs, I never thought that it would be my life. I've never pictured it. But since that was the path that she chose, media, I now have to sacrifice time. I told her not long ago that, do you know, when I checked my goals, my notebook and my goals this year, it was not even conscious. I didn't realize that most of my goals were her goals, because this is her final year. So I wanted so many things for her. They now became my own goal.
Yeah.
So I was telling people, someone was asking me about training courses. I've not really been doing many. I now realized that it's because I have prioritized her this year. I wanted her to do so many things. So the opportunity cost of me wanting her to be X, Y, and Z before she leaves home, I have to pay that price. I have to get her so many things done. So if you have that child, you have to prioritize. And if you have 5 of them, you have to prioritize 5 times as much. You can't treat 2 children the same way. You can't treat, some people, even prayer time, they say, family prayer meeting, all of us, let's pray. It is good, don't get me wrong. But there will be a child that might not be interested in your family prayer meeting. That child may only want a one-to-one with daddy or with mommy. Because not every child that thrives in a group. You might miss something. Oh, we're all going to the cinema to go and watch a film or a movie. There might be one child that's not interested in your movie date. So you can't just assume that you have to mass produce the children that you have. Oh, all of us are going to wear Ankara to church. One may hate Ankara, but you are forcing it on that child. Even food. Oh, we're all eating beans, and one cannot even stand beans or cannot be bothered. But because you've had too many children that you cannot manage, you say, it's by force. What you know happening is gas boost. You are beating the children. So we must know that when we have children, it's a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice. I've been sacrificing for that day. In fact, this year, I'm always sacrificing, but this year is so much. It is so much. Because even her prom, I was putting down the money that her dad and I had spent for her prom, her graduation, and all the hangouts that she wanted to have with her friends, and all those sort of things. You know, they wanted to hang out before they all went to different parts of the world, and all sorts of things. Spending of money, doing it is a lot to parents. And if you're not enjoying parenting, if you're complaining and it's hard, it's because you're not doing it well. Parenting is supposed to be enjoyed, not endured. Don't endure parenting. Enjoy every moment of it. So there's a lot. There's a lot.
There's so much. It's been such an amazing conversation tonight. A mother just put up a post now and said her daughter said that one of her classmates is the favorite of the seniors. Mm-hmm. Ronka, I promise you this is the last question. Mm-hmm. What should she do? The mother said, my daughter said, one of her classmates is the favorite. Mm. Now, I've been there. I went to a unity school and I saw many people who were favorites, and I was bullied by the seniors that cared about her. So I'm trying to tell where her daughter is, but I need you to throw light on that. And then you give your final words.
Now, we live in a very complicated time now. Even in my own time, I went to a girls-only school, and many of the girls that were favorites of seniors were actually in lesbian relationships. So we have to be very careful. When you are favorite of the senior, I'm not saying they're all lesbians, but you have to let your child know the root cause. And children of age 10, 11, to be honest, because that's secondary school, they are clued up. Let your child know about all these things. You actually don't want to be anybody's favorite. You just want to be God's favorite. You want to be the best of you. It's okay not to be everybody's favorite. You are already mommy's favorite and daddy's favorite. It's okay.
Yes.
You don't need to be anybody's favorite, because it's subject to abuse. What are the seniors getting? Is it that they're getting their provisions, getting one thing, getting them to backrobe them, and all sorts of things? There's a lot of perversion out there these days. So if your child is not a senior's kidney, it's even good, honestly. I don't even recommend all those paddy. Because when I was in QC, the minute the senior is calling you to a clinic, they want to touch you, know. So I cannot, and that time we didn't even have social media and phones then. So you can imagine this day and age that they have so many, they have exposed to so many things, what exactly is going to be happening. So let your child know that it's okay not to be anybody's favorite. Even the child, you can, if the other one is, if they are friends, what is it that makes them, that's even too much information. Just be happy. Go to school. You went to school to go and learn. You didn't go to school to be anybody's favorite or anything like that. It's okay. No, even teachers these days, you don't even want to be your teacher's favorite sometimes, because some of those teachers are also abusing our children.
Yes.
So when you say telling you that favorite, or they're telling you that your child is very obedient or your child is very well behaved, anybody that they put well behaved in your child's report or obedient, go there and ask your child, because you don't even want your child to be obedient.
What do you use to
If
obey?
your child is obeying everything, when they say open your leg, she will open. When they say come and give senior blowjob, your child will do it because your child is obedient. So we should not pray for obedience, because if you really know what obedience is, you will run away from it.
Yes, absolutely. And Tironka, we have to do this again. I think we need to we need to talk. We need to talk about, we need to do something together that parents can actually, we need to do a course or an academy. We need to do something.
I'm open.
We're going to think through. Yes, we're going to think this through, and I'm going to piggyback to you. You know, we're coming to Lagos to do a boot camp for girls.
Yeah, I was telling my daughter she might join online because she won't be in town.
Okay. Yes. So, but I need you there. I need you there because if we're talking to the girls, I need us to be talking to the girls directly, you know? So, I look forward to doing a whole lot with you, Mom. I want to thank you for honoring us today. I knew it was going to be explosive. Let me tell you one takeaway. My note is full. I have like 6 pages of notes. But one thing I took away is that girls are being raised with scarcity mentality.
Absolutely, yeah.
Girls are being raised with scarcity mentality. Everything is always about something. Look beautiful so that it looks like it won't be enough if you don't do this.
Yeah.
And so the scarcity makes us think that someone else has taken our spot.
Yeah.
Someone else has taken our spot with
They're
the men.
always inadequate.
It's a normal girl. It's not a normal girl that falls in love with somebody's man.
They're always going to feel inadequate. Somebody said I should take off my glasses at some point, so let me take it off. They're always inadequate. They feel inadequate, and that's why I said that their tank will never be full. It will never be full because there will always be a trend. Even the trends online. When mommy is doing all the trends, any small trend, they are doing one thing on social media. Mommy is carrying video and carrying. Mommy is doing. So you are doing every trend. How will you tell your child not to jump on every trend? Some things, as a parent, you have to hold yourself because you don't want your child to do it.
Yes.
So it's not everything that you do. It's not everything.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not everything.
You see this look what I wear it for a reason, ma'am. I cut my hair in 2008 February. I was starting a new organization. My mom used to give me pocket money for hair. And there was nobody to fund that idea. And so I told my mom, I had a deal with my mom. I said, give me the money for hair. I'll cut the hair, but let me keep getting my hair money.
Yeah.
But by the time my daughters came, I realized that I had a new redefined reason for having this cut. It's tough to carry cut in a world where girls want to wear hair.
Yeah.
So my daughters know by me that I don't need to be anybody. So they always say, mommy is different. And it's for a reason. So I want to thank you for coming out. Thank you to everyone who came out.
God bless you all. Thank you.
I had a good time. And then one more word for that day. She's going for the stars. God is taking her places.
Amen.
God will shape her. God will equip her. God will cause her voice to be heard in the nations.
Are you there?
No weapon formed against her prospers.
Amen.
No voice rises against, any voice that rises against her in judgment will be condemned.
Amen.
She will hear God clearly for herself.
Amen.
She will rise and rise and rise and rise and rise. That day you will never know a better yesterday. You will never know success. You won't see people and say they were good old days. There will never be good old days for you. The Bible says in Philippians 4 verse 8 that the path of the righteous man shines brighter and brighter and brighter. God is taking you places. He's going to pour into you. He's going to pour of himself into you. You're becoming a voice in your generation. I want you to step out wherever God takes you and take the space that he sends you to. You were born for a time like this. Wherever you find yourself, There are no coincidences. You're there for an assignment, and God will show you how to fulfill it in every way. God bless you, darling. God bless you in every way. In every way. In every way. Congratulations, darling. You were our inspiration for tonight. God bless you.
God bless
Thank you so
all
much.
our children. Our children are blessed, and they
I'll
would.
chat with you. Look forward to amazing collaborations. Thank you, all the mamas that came. See, Caroline, we love you. Thank you for joining tonight.